Aurora getting the first pick here? Are you gonna go surprises and suddenly go Edith? Are you gonna rush the assassin? Or are you gonna get this? The Jushin that Haji has popped off with in this playoff so far, even getting prioritized by Blacklist International. Now it gets stolen by Rora.
There you go. I knew it. I knew the moment that they didn't pick up the Suyo, it was gonna get into the hands of MP the King here. Very, very much so. Highly contested by every team. And MP the King, known for this damage, for this playstyle of just being pure on damage each and every time.
Yeah. Now, in terms of the mid laners, I wonder if US gonna end up going for the likes of the Valen, the Vexana. Oh, excuse me, the Jushin's already there. I clocked out for a moment. Jungler, go for it right now. Just go ahead and pick up your Demon Kite hero. If it's not gonna be the link, they might lean in on the idea of the Julian. But in Blacklist International, when they have the high loss, usually they pair it up with a Matilda, but they have a room for a Bane if they want to. So adjustments by both of these two teams, drafting more differently than what we're used to, as Edward locks in the phobias, even though you don't see that many dashes yet available for the lineup of Blacklist. They have the Suyo, but other than that, that's it. And then they also pick up the Ling now, knowing that there's a chance that this Perks hero can actually go into the EXP lane, and then Blacklist might end up picking a Roamer that might actually mess up this Ling.
There's actually a good chance that the high loss will go to the XP lane if they're considering, multiple ways of engaging with an Edith.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like the Edith is such a powerful pick here and reversible as well. So Blacklist can even do that last minute switch and just mess up Aurora's game plan.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Edith. Edward's best hero so far this season. So for Blacklist International, they're going to pick it up for themselves. They're going to have to be ready to see that Aurora will be comfortable going up against it, knowing that that is one of their comforts as well.
Edward's loss record. I was gonna say, doesn't he have like 1-2 losses on it just all through season?
It's not completely undefeated, but it does have a
it's really high win rate. Yeah.
It is 8 wins. Yeah, so 72% win rate. That should be around 8-4-12.
8-4-12.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty good still. And again, you're also thinking about that flexibility. So I love that they also kind of just respect the Kaja here.
Yeah.
Something that Aurora actually used in the previous playoffs match as well to just surprise their opponent.
Yeah, with Renegade, and then I believe the Kaja was paired up with a Matrix at that time.
Yes.
A la Team Liquid Philippines. So yeah, it was. So let's see if they'll ban out the gold laner here from OHEB, because they still have like the likes of a Harith available, which slots in very well with an Eve and a high loss. But they decide to take out the Khalid.
Alright. Now I'm thinking what's a good gold laner to pair up here.
Harith.
Harith?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Harith.
I feel like, no, aside from that. I'm thinking aside from the Harith, sorry. Yeah, they're not even gonna worry about it. I like Blacklist this way, right? This is the way that Bonchan actually drafts that wins.
Yeah.
By just not overthinking their picks.
Yeah.
Unlike us, who will tend to overthink a lot with these ones. And now, on the other side, are you willing to throw an Angela on rope here? If you're Rora?
Might be risky, because their only real frontliner is the Phobias. And then they're up against an Eve. Angela might suffer here if they decide to go for that.
Especially if you go for like a squisher gold lane.
Yeah. And in terms of their gold laner for Doming, I mean, the Moscow is still available. If they're really feeling it, then Doming might actually go Matrix. But nope, they go for the classic matchup of Lunox versus Harith, and they still go Angela. That's a great call, Rockhart. But
yeah, I also, when you mentioned that, I'm like, Phobias only on front? Are you sure? But I feel, you know what, Sushin's pretty tanky, I guess.
I think for Aurora, the call's gonna be simple. Let's just make sure we get into level 4s. Don't overly commit the first turtle if it doesn't look good. If Haji will have his real-world manipulation at that time, and then just go ahead and team fight once we have our ultimates. Very ulti dependent. And here comes a Barret. A Barret's EXP lane from Blacklist International.
Or is it Rome? Well, either way, I kind of like it. The only problem I have with that lineup is almost all VOT.
Yeah.
Same for the Harif, so might have a hard time bursting out people, especially if they're shielded with the hard guard here.
If you look at the lineup ratings, much better here for Aurora. Late game potential, a bit way better. Damage potential for Blacklist, though high. We do know when Suyo hits level 4, his pokes already start to really hurt. Again, the X factor here are the last picks. It's that Angela, how's he gonna fare? Dominguez and Lunox, how is he gonna fare up against Oheb? And most importantly, well, the Barretts. How well is Lord JM gonna get those -1s?
We'll have to wait and see as we throw it over for game number 1 to Leo and Naisu.
Bright lights versus a brand new code. Only one team survived this encounter, starting with
Welcome
game
to
1.
Mobile Legends.
Nice and Leo at your service, bringing you the action. And I'm struggling to recall. Joseph, is this the first Barats of Season 14?
You know, that's a good question, man, because I was literally thinking the same thing. I don't know if it maybe popped up once in the regular season, but nonetheless, you just don't see him that often. And it is going to be in the XP lane, right? So looks like he's going with the tanky emblem set as well. Typical stuff here, but part of that really is just to go ahead and try to have some catch. You know, you're going to use that Daytona's Welcome with the flicker combination. And if you can catch one of the targets, especially to set things up in your favor, then that's great for Blacklist in the lineup that they have here.
It's not. This is the second or third Barats of the season, and it was debuted in about the same time as we saw Joy pop right back up.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the story of this Jushin pick, right? It's annoying, especially in the early portion of the game. You have to continuously worry about being dragged back with that Lantern Flare. So good poking and good kind of control going on with both the teams right now.
What I like about the draft here in game 1 is it's clear that these two geniuses, Coach Bon Chan, Coach Master the Basics, both leading Blast International at some point in the past 3 years, they both know each other so well.
They do.
They understand that, all right, you want to fight? Okay, I want to fight too. I know the exact antidote to the poison you're bringing. And
so do the communities.
it seems like a lot of the fans don't understand what Blacklist has done in the past 3 days.
Yeah.
Still, of course, this could just come down to the raw numbers of the Auroras all around
That's
the world. But you know what? Renmar said something right. His heart is in the right place, I think. Because Blacklist are playing out of their minds right now.
Yeah, they have. I don't know what happened, and I remember saying this back ago. Hold on, Turtle gonna be secured by MP the King. Initiation.
Whoa.
That's the Daytona's Welcome we were talking about into the RWM as well. Still looking for the kill on Renege, and in the backside, they're gonna break it on out. MP Infernal Pursuit right on top. A triple lantern drag from UA goes in for Mora now. Perks and Lord JM. Still gonna press the situation. Edward, though, keeping him at bay. Infernal Pursuit again with wave 2. Look at Edward go.
Abun Jingjing is an angry man. Legend Zero taking it to Blacklist International. And I could have sworn Black was happy with the turtle. And it's not like they had a choice, right? It's not like they could have just ran away and gotten happy with their usual objective. No. Again, these two teams, their lineup, their drafts, they were made to fight.
It's funny how that went, because before all that, it was calm and collected, you know, some poking here and there. But Lord JM's the one that started up. He's like, nope, here I am. This is the Barretts. And he also just picked up the Thunderbelt.
All right. I'm not so sure if by the time the Barats reared its collective faces in the league, it's when Thunderbelt was a thing, like the new Thunderbelt, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to consider, you're not just keeping up big guy stacks, you're also keeping up Thunderbelt stacks.
Yep.
So all the more, it's telegraphed. They want to keep fighting.
That's where they're going to shine. And part of that, too, is just allowing, once again, Oheb to get where he needs to be on this Harris pick. We already saw a preview of that. Here's the hard guard. Initiation coming through.
Oh, no.
Once again, Temps Blades trying to get to them before they get to the turret. They're going to be dragged on forward. Couple hits for Haji. And Haji actually survives that.
With just but a sliver of health. He saw his career flash before his eyes as he just gets away with it. Edward going 2v1. Lord JM and MP the King. That's a defensive real-world manipulation if I've ever seen one.
And this is the interesting usage of it that you can get. I mean, Eve's popped up now quite a few times just in the playoffs. So that is a valuable ultimate down also here on the top side. Meanwhile, the Turtle's still going Domeng and Oheb in that 1v1. Both teams still trying to feel the situation out. Renegade doesn't have the hard guard yet, so they're going to buy some time here.
I think it's a matter of either waiting for NJ and Blacklist saying, MP the King says go, MP the King says go. And of course, UA getting a good chokestun. There you go, hard guard already off a cooldown. And neither team in position. Oh, they're going to catch one.
When again, hard guard might not be enough to help him out this time. Using the brilliance there to stay alive. Domeng's still going to be fine. They're going to re-engage. Demon Kite checking out the vicinity here. He's going to jump in, looking for perks. Domeng finally goes down. Tempest Ablaze already going to use. Gets enough of the swords too, but he's still looking for more. Demon Kite gets out. 2 fall for Blacklist.
And 1 for Aurora. I mean, sure, it is a key player. That's Domeng, the next standard. They're going to have to need to get some farm on him, expedite the whole process, but this whole delay, this is the second turtle, Joseph. We're looking at the second turtle, and it's been about a minute that they let it stand like that. MP the King is back on the map. So I'm not so sure if this is something Aurora wants to consider even contesting. I think they're letting it go.
Yeah, they have to. Just let this one go. MP grabs a second turtle now. But you can still see Rora, they're going to trade. Like, if they're going to give up that turtle, they can't contest it. They might as well get a turret.
And that's how they repair the early death on to Domeng. And ooh,
Look at this. Edward starting up the fight again. Lord JM caught in a bad place. Won't be able to escape a Demon Kite. And Edward's still going to go ahead, put a little bit of pressure here. Hard guard held over, but they're happy with that kill.
he spit out the spicy meatball.
The meat, the ball.
He almost got it, and then he saw the hard guard. Go, oh, never mind.
Never mind.
And I'm in too deep. So that's a punish hard by Aurora, putting them up about 500, 600 gold.
Oh.
And now they're trying to find Oheb.
They're going to fight again. Oheb trying to get out. He's going to get dragged back with the Lantern Flare and perks as well. Won't be able to get away. It's just too much from Rora. Once again, showing the proof, the utility of UA here with the Jushi.
And with the absence of MP the King, DK is going to commit Grand Theft Orange. Blacklist now reeling from that exchange, that assault by Aurora up top. That's going to convert into a tier 1 push. Aurora now approaching 2,000 gold up. In about a minute, there will be a turtle in the upper quarter. Odd how that turret didn't go down.
I was going to say, one hit.
I think Aurora just let go maybe a second too soon.
It'll eventually go down. I think they're feeling the same way.
Not by Oheb's watch. Look, he's just going to stay there.
Again, initiation. Flicker going to be used. Daytona's welcome into the turret. They just grabbed Edward. He didn't have anywhere to go after that one.
Very good use of Perks' Glorious Pathway. I think that was enough to slow down Edward without proccing any Infernal Pursuit. I mean, he was going to die anyways.
Yeah, he's thrown in the turret at that point. Again, Lord JM's been very proactive on utilizing the Flicker with that Daytona's welcome, and if that's into the Glorious Pathway too, it helps.
He has a Thunderbelt again. It's a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if the Flicker will lead to a -1, as mentioned by our analyst in the Infinite Game Tambayan, that's gotta be key. You have to stifle Aurora from snowballing out of control. Again, reminder, this is an Angeling lineup. If it goes ham, and if Demon Kite don't get shut down, then you're in room for a very bad late game. Look at this, 5 members of Black. This is the trademark. Ube coming in.
They're gonna go for it. MP will get the third one. Hard guard already used. Disengaged right now from Blacklist. Looks like Rora gonna disengage himself. So that's 3 for 3. MP the King with the turtles here. And like you said, finally this tier 1's gonna go down. One hit from that minion. So this is it. Here's the re-engage. RW already dropped down. They're gonna throw UA into the air. Once again, that Daytona's welcome helping out.
I'd reckon that may have been a lapse in communication. I'm not so sure if Aurora, we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Are we rotating out? Are we moving up? Are we going elsewhere? Because they all got punished by Haji's real-world manipulation. They were all kept right then and there. And Yue, the least mobile member of Aurora, save for Renegade, of course, suffers the loss.
Think how much slow that is, you know, with the real-world manipulation, and then eventually, I'm not sure if Haji has the Ice Queen 1 yet, but even with the Glorious Pathway, like there's so much slow there in Zaman Force, and that's why, you know, Rora, when they were playing with that advantage earlier on, where they were going even under the turrets, whenever they had that hard guard and they put the pressure on with a beacon,
It's always awkward.
it's always awkward to fight, because then that's literally the counterplay into that death box, and as the game gets longer here, you know, either team really can actually win those team fights.
I reckon we're up for an item check in just a jiffy. In a country second, if you know what I'm talking about. Because 30 seconds from now, Lord's going to spawn lower quarter. So we want to know exactly what they're building. Lantern on Haji. So he's dealing massive damage to Edward, massive damage to... I think that's about it, all right?
That was a country second.
He's the only one... It is. He's the only one who's really dealing with a lot of HP right now. Demon Kite cornered out of that small camp. Checking out the items here. Nope, no ice cream one just yet, Joseph.
I guess they just have enough slow between all the utility that
It's
their
just,
ultimates
it's just
forgive.
painful slow.
Yeah. Like Glorious Pathway is probably enough.
Missile expert too.
That's true. You have that. So they have plenty of slow available, and this is where they're going to be able to shine. You know, once the Lord is up here, they decide to give it a go. They'll play into that advantage. Domeng also picking up a big item right now on this Ludox Holy Crystal. But look at this poking just on the Edward.
It's difficult for Edward because he has to do so many things. Number one, he has to break the kill box.
Yep.
He has to peel for Aurora. Again, he's the only real frontliner.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the guy.
You have to, because anybody else is just relying on a hard guard.
Yeah, and he has to find stragglers. So he's a bouncer working a 300 capacity club.
He's working overtime.
And he's one guy.
Just one guy. No, he's that guy. That's why. It's the only one we employ.
He's 3-time MPL champion, world champion.
Yeah.
And he's him. He's Legend Zero. But as a Phobius, he can only do so much.
He can, and that's why I would say his work is cut out for him. And Edward's been doing that job up to this point. But now you're going to find yourself being that guy for the Lord dance that's going to be started up right now by Blacklist.
How perfect. It's a big club, and the bouncer's checking in. All right, what's going on? What's the commotion? It's just a soft reset. About 3 members of Blacks International tippy-toe into the tango, and Edward is checking in. And I think the call is, all right, fellas, they're not going deep just yet, and here's where Aurora's lineup shines, controlling the map. You can have Renegade just clear in, as slow as it takes for an Angela, but still, a presence is a presence. And then you have the Ling on Demon Kite just jumping around.
Clear those waves with those waves of love, man. Like that's what you're gonna do. Part of this is Demon Kite. He can also kind of help with this, put pressure, but they're just gonna give this one a go. Gonna try to get here on time. Hard guard already gonna be on Demon Kite. Lord's gonna go for the reset. Tempest Blades will be committed. Edward has to flicker out defensively, and they try to fight it in. The Queller is shot, but that Lord will enhance at this point.
Most impressive is Blacklist discipline. You see that green dot on Haji, Joseph? He didn't panic, he didn't press the real manipulation. And now they're in prime position to take the Lord.
They're gonna go for this one full force once again, and MP will be able to grab that Lord. Edward jumps in Infernal Pursuit. They drag Lord JM back. There's the RWM though, locking them down, trying to cut them off. Edward finally taken out. They go to the safety of the tier 2, but they're dragged back by Yue. And now they collapse down on Haji. A turret won't be enough, says Demon Kite alongside Renegade. It's a wipeout for Rora.
Just too much damage in Aurora's lineup, and they're able to sledgehammer through the base.
And that's all they needed. With the minions and pushing in, Rora will take game number 1.
The Northern Lights, like a flashbang, suddenly take game 1 from underneath Blacklist.
Man, did that happen just so quickly. Like
You could have held your breath.
I think we did. And so did the MPL arena here, because it was just that one fight. You know, it was that one Lord fight that went back and forth. It started, then disengaged, and then turned into that.
There's got to be some hesitation that our analysts saw in Blacklist engagement that may have turned the tide. Let's go over to the Infinix game to buy and break down game 1.
Funnily enough, you did spot that, right? You spotted that millisecond of hesitation.
Yeah.
And you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I also understand why, if you're Blacklist International, why you're going to be team fighting like that. Because even though you're trying to look for the best possible team fight, or the best team fight, it's hard to do that when you have someone like you who positions and times his entries so well. Unlike the Eve, where once that box is brought down, you know what's going to happen. You know what you need to get out of. While the Jushin, when it's paired up with an Angela, you can wait and waiting is what the smiling demon did. This guy just looks like he already wants to go straight into game number 2.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. The smiling demon gets me every time. He doesn't even smile fully. I haven't seen him smile like completely yet. But yeah, he is 5-0-6 here. And also one of the reasons why I knew they were going to pick the Angela, because if you enable Demon Kite on that lane, it just gives you a good show.
Yeah, very deceptive is the lineup that Aurora drafted. So we got to see that there were some scenarios where Renegade would struggle to join or do something because he was an Angela. If he got caught out without charging up that hard guard, it's an easy catch for Haji and the rest of Blacklist International. But then Rora, with their lineup, understood that, hey, we have to adjust our playstyle. Our main frontliners are going to be, surprisingly enough, the Jushin, the Fulvius, and even Demon Kite. But Demon Kite will frontline once he has the hard guard onto him. That acknowledgement, that adjustment allowed them to reach them to this scenario. Yes, it looked like it was a really great team fight for Blacklist International, but again, the late entry and the decision of Yue. Once he entered, that was a signal for Renegade and Demon Kite to run over Blacklist International.
I was about to say, Yue is my personal MVP here. Because not just the first one where he got 3 people on the lantern, that was fun. I forgot that you could do that. But the decision making that he's able to do, all while being in the front.
Yeah.
As a mage, just really blew my mind here. And I think Blacklist also didn't expect this kind of gameplay coming in from the Zushin of Yue here. And that's why Demon Kite also just had a very easy time on the lane.
Despite Blacklist International getting all of the turtles, even got that one word of the game, ultimately Aurora just wanted the longer trade of it all. Again, Demon Kite, this kind of lineup puts pressure on him in the sense that if Demon Kite really messes up, then nothing good's gonna come from Aurora. It will fall into the hands of Doming, but Demon Kite played an excellent game. In a game wherein you have your mid laner as the roamer, as the frontliner, you have the Phobius as your wall, you have an Angela to just be like, yo, Renegade, I need the buff so I can go in and join the fight. Demon Kite needed a lot of patience, needed a lot of discipline, and the good news for Rora is he went in at the best possible times.
And again, he can do that over and over again, just because I guess the comps are really, really good with Aurora, right?
Yes.
So you can only do that if you have 100% trust on your teammates, and maybe 100% KP for you, just kidding. But yeah, overall, you can't pull that off unless you're ensemble. You're all together. You're all jiving. You're all grooving to the same tune. And that's exactly what we saw here for Aurora. And I would also say we saw that in Blacklist, right? They look very in tune with each other. The decision-making, I guess the hesitation that Leo and Nice were talking about was probably just the only thing that kind of just tore this whole thing apart. It's like Jenga pieces falling.
Yeah. I understand the hesitation the Blacklist International showed. Come the team fights, come from any scenario wherein they don't initially see the Ling, they'll always have to watch out for 2 swooping in and turning the tides around. Again, the Angeling combo, that's what you're looking out for. And then if it's not going to be the hard guard, you're also looking out for the Brilliance. Are you going to get Doming fast enough so that you wouldn't be able to Brilliance out? Because if you don't get the Blue knocks down fast enough, then you pretty much get rid or use so many of your abilities for nothing. Everything goes to waste. So the hesitation, I feel like, that we saw from Blacklist International, pointed out by Leo and Nice, was more of just warranted cautiousness at the same time. But that's my take. I understand why, like, if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view perspective, that you're gonna think, oh, they're hesitating a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna ask people, why are these guys hesitating? Guys, it's easy to ask that if you see the whole map. Don't forget, these guys don't see the whole map, all right? just a refresher for everyone. Like, why did Blacklist do this? Why did Blacklist do that? You can kind of go for the trap, because if you're on that POV, your information is usually very limited. That's also one of the challenges of this game. The MLBB, the game. The challenges of this game is working with that limited information that you have and trying to extend that, trying to go over the whole map and processing all that through 5 people, which is the biggest challenge, and I guess something that FNOP has mastered, and the rest of the teams are just starting to catch up on, I guess. But for the meantime, let's throw it over to our solo analyst, Auntie Anara, I believe, who will have a lot to say about this.
The classic Angeling tandem allowed the Smiling Demon to strike their opponents with his sling as Aurora MLBB takes game number 1 against Blacklist International. At isang magandang buhay, my name is Ankinara and I am here to break down what happened in that game number 1 between these two teams. And what a wonderful matchup for the both of them as we have seen how they were able to execute their entire lineup. We were talking about in the panel a while ago how this lineup from Aurora MLBB is very much reliant on the snowball coming from Demon Tide. And yes, we were kind of wondering how this will work given that Renny J was using the Angela and no one else was there in front of them. So a huge props to Yue for being able to execute that Juicin so masterfully to the point that Blacklist International, in the absence of their Purify, wasn't able to respond properly to the lifts given to that lantern from Yue. And all throughout the game, we have seen Edward at the forefront. And while the team fights for both of these teams were great, what made this entire lineup possible for the side of Aurora MLBB was the fact that after losing that Lord, which they danced for like 3-4 minutes, is that they were able to instantly convert it into wiping out Blacklist International. And this is a very much classic lore dance invented by both of these teams, which allowed them to fully execute this strategy. That game was so wonderful that it was full of team fights for the both of them, but it was Aurora MLBB that won in that specific matchup because of the classic Angeling tandem. And they were able to execute just that because of all of the roles of all of their teammates. And what a wonderful matchup that was. We have seen Aurora MLBB take game number 1, but then again, this is a best of 5 series. So definitely, this is not at the end of the road yet for Blacklist International. But to know more about what's happening in the world, let's go to Mara Aquino.
We're back for another episode of M News, where we give you the latest in the world of competitive MLBB. We got 3 stops. First, we're heading to Latam. Maycam Evolve has dethroned champion RRQ Akira in MPL Latam Season 2. We've always known the Brazilian King of Kings as a team that dominated South America's scene until Aurora, Maycam Evolve's jungler, led the team to sweep RRQ in the grand finals. Maycam Evolve will now qualify for M6 group stage, while RRQ Akira will start their campaign from the wild card. Next stop, Myanmar. Falcon Esports will be soaring to Malaysia for the M6 World Championship after defeating Mythic Steels in a full 7-game grand finals. The clutch triple kill from Benny's Bruno turned the series around to help his team clinch the ticket. This will be Falcon Esports' 4th international appearance as Myanmar's representative. They previously participated twice at the MSC and now twice at the M Series. And for our final stop, NACT Fall 2024. Now the grand finals is set for North America, where Cloud9 will be facing BTK. Now for more of that, let's check in with our M correspondent all the way from North America, Steph Weezy. Pasok.
From the Philippines, my name is Steph Weezy, a NACT caster all the way out in North America. We have a tournament of our own. I know you guys just stepped into the playoffs, but guess what? We're right there with you. For the NACT, we've seen over 100 teams sign up. We had amazing qualifiers, lasted for a few days, but only 8 teams were able to surpass the rest and move on to the regular season. Our regular season spanned over the course of 3 weeks in a new format, a Swiss format, kind of similar to what we'll be seeing in M6, where the top 4 teams with the most points move forward to the playoffs. And here we are inside of the playoffs right now and getting ready for our grand finals with 2 teams soaring above the rest. Can you guess who it is? I bet you can. Cloud9 and the Bloodthirsty Kings are going to be fighting it out again for a chance to hold that banner for North America and a chance for a ticket to M6 in Malaysia to be the best in the world. It's no secret, North America had a little bit of a struggle inside of MSC, but through NACT, a lot of the kinks have been ironed out and these teams are getting ready. They have one mission and one mission only: make North America great again. Be looking out for North America as we close our doors for the NACT October 20th. Definitely grab some popcorn and get some drinks, and we'd love to see you there. But all you regions, better watch out. North America, is on its way.
Thank you, Steph Weezy, Cloud9, and BTK, two epic rivals. We'll be seeing you for M6. And that's it for M News. We'll see you next time. But now we're going to head on over to our panel. Paso.
Thank you so much, Mara Aquino. We're going to have some conversations for sure with Steph Weezy here later.
I love the support. Great. I miss Steph, man. Steph's a really cool dude. Hopefully we get to see each other in Malaysia.
And of course, I was also very excited about that Myanmar matchup. I really thought Mythic Seal was actually going to take it. We're so used to seeing those names in the M series, and it's surprising that we will probably see them in the wild cards here. That will happen in shortly, probably after this. And that was the first time, by the way, that we saw the Suyo make an appearance in the playoffs. So I really was very thrilled for that. So stuff happening all over the world.
Yeah, lots of things to watch out for. Little by little, all the journeys all over the world are starting to culminate towards Malaysia. Get Fnatic Onyx Philippines is already on there. MPL Indonesia are going to have their playoffs next week alongside MPL Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
MPL Cambodia's playoffs are ongoing right now. There are upsets there happening as well. They have a similar story. CU in 6th place eliminated 3rd place Team Flash in Cambodia, similar to what happened with Blacklist International versus Omega. So it's really cool seeing the narratives all throughout the seasons, or all throughout the world, heading into the M series.
That's right. And we are also waiting for NACT to also kind of just finish off. Let's go Midnight. C9's probably in a good spot here as well. BTK is a household name for M series, but you never know. That's why after this, we're all very excited to watch there as well. And again, all stuff happening. Let's go back here where we are right now. Of course, DK4 is the Lord trade. Apparently, they've been trading a lot of objectives in that game, to be honest, not just Lord. But somehow, Rora did come out on top with all that happening. For the meantime, though, feel the power of every tab using the smart app, guys. All you gotta do is manage all of that in one simple package that you just install on your phone. You can manage your prepaid, your postpaid, your buy promos, your bills. You can also manage your bills from that app. You can redeem rewards. And again, all you gotta do is download the smart app right now. And I think you can also do that with games. So if you're a gamer, try out the smart app as well. It's only available for Smart Signature, Infinity Pro, TNT, and PLD Wi-Fi. Home Wi-Fi. There you go. All that in the smart app. And if you are a guy that loves to load up for Mobile Legends Bang Bang, you get a little bit of promo here and there. Yeah, with that. And they also have like tournaments that happen in like a separate app. Right? It's so much fun with Smart. And again, thank you so much for being one of our main sponsors. Yeah. So right now we are about a minute into the next game, and again, I'm still convinced this is a 5-game series. If not, I will do it.
There we go. That's the right play. Don't make sweeping statements that you won't be able to keep, because honestly, the sweeping statement you made might actually be too difficult for yourself.
Yes. If this doesn't go to a game 5, I will talk to Leo. I will talk to Naisu, and I will tell them, boy, oh boy, I miss our friend.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Ingan again tomorrow, dude. Like, I know he's enjoying like his day off while at the same time, preparing for work. Love you, Ingan. But I can't wait to see you tomorrow, man.
Right.
So I bought clippers. I'm bringing it tomorrow, Ingan. See you, bro.
If you know the trade, if you can just rewind yesterday, so you know what we're talking about. Anyway, we're going into this one with Blue Side for Blacklist. They pick it up, and their win rate on Blue Side is 41%. I would say it was worse. So I feel like now it's better because of their wins. And their side selection priority is 29% if they choose the side. So what does that mean for us though, right?
Yeah, for Blacklist International, looking at them drafting in the blue side, their pattern has been really rushing the priority.